Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers here, and this is your 5 tech things you should know about the day after Thanksgiving. Oh, kind of. Brought to you by Mozy.com. Hey everybody, it's early morning on Thanksgiving. Of course, we're recording this for the next day, the 26th. This is episode number 66 of the 5 tech things that you should know about. My name is Jeffrey Powers. We basically run through tech for all you weekend warriors, but we're going to do something a little bit special. This is the day after Thanksgiving doorbuster deal. So let's get into your 5 tech things you should know about. Of course, we all know about doorbuster days. It's one of those things that you do. You get up at like 2, 3, 4 in the morning and you go to your favorite store and you stand out there in the freezing cold and you're waiting for all the cool little deals and stuff like that. Well, last week when I reported about it, I basically said you didn't have to go out to those doorbuster deals. You'll get them online, and that's still true. But if you decide that you want to go out for the hunt, then you might want to plan things out a little bit better. BlackFriday.info is a great website that you can go to find out where all the deals are, who's got what, and make your strategic plans. But more importantly, you might see this little sign right here. The first 100 get a free MP3 player. The first 100 get a free this or that or the other thing. They might entice you to stand in line at 4 in the morning, and it might be a great deal. But watch the deal there and see what you have to do. You might not be the first 100. For instance, Walmart's open on Thanksgiving. How are they gauging the first 100 from there? That doesn't make much sense. But you just got to watch out all these deals, because you might be standing in line and find out that you're not qualifying for that deal. And you got to wait a little bit longer for it to happen. It just doesn't make sense to me. There's a little bit of deception there. But once again, if you read the fine print, you should be fine. One of the things that they're going to do to entice you to get into some of these doorbuster deals, these Thanksgiving after Thanksgiving Day sales, is laptops. Now, laptop is something that a lot of people might not have, really want this Christmas. For $500, you can get yourself a decent laptop. Here's what you're going to look for when you get a laptop. First of all, it's got to be something that's got a dual core to it, whether it be an AMD Phenom or an Intel, maybe an i3. An i3 would be a great PC to have for this time for $500. The screen has to be decent, and it has to have enough graphics that it can play at least the DVDs and some of the Blu-rays. Your DVD player should be a DVD recorder, should be a LightScribe. It could even be, if they have some sort of Blu-ray player in it. Probably not a Blu-ray, but you at least have to be able to record CDs and DVDs on this thing, and they give you all the software on there. Now, you'll have USB ports. Make sure you have enough USB ports, but also make sure that you also have the external card slot, because some of these laptops don't have the card slot, so you can actually add in extra stuff. And the HDMI port. This is the most important thing. If you want to hook up your laptop to your big screen TV, then you want to make sure you have an HDMI port on the side, not just the VGA cable, the HDMI, just the regular connector for HDMI. $500 is a great price for a laptop, and if you've got a desktop that's about 4 or 5 years old, it might be time to switch and get up to Windows desktop. If you're going over to the Mac side, well, you might even want to think about those same things when you're getting yourself a Mac. Although, when you get a Mac, you've pretty much you don't get to pick and choose which type of Mac, except for a MacBook Air or a MacBook or whatever. The MacBook Airs are really, really nice because they have the onboard SSD. But you got to remember one thing. The price is pretty darn high for a lot of those MacBooks. For about $1,000, I could actually get 2 PC laptops. But if you want to stay in Macland, I would suggest one of the i3 MacBooks, because it'll be a well-rounded device for you for the next couple of years. Almost out of coffee here, so let's continue on really quickly. The question is, which phone are you going to get? There's a ton of options now with Android, Windows, and Apple into the market. You've got to make your choices wisely. Windows Phone 7 just came out. They tout ease of use by having their front screen where you can see everything, so you can look at what you need to look at and move on, which kind of makes sense. I have the iPhone, and I got to go into Facebook, and I got to look at Facebook, then I got to close out of Facebook, then I got to look at my Twitter feed, and then I got to close out of the Twitter feed, then I got to go into Foursquare, I got to close out of the Foursquare. With the Windows Phone, it might actually be a decent choice or an option to an iPhone. Do you want to get an iPhone? Do you want to get a Windows Phone? Do you want to get a Droid or an Android phone? There's a lot of great different phones out there and a lot of great prices. Now, then they'll have their step downs, which might not be as powerful as their main ones. Like, for instance, the HTC came out with the Evo, but they also came out with 4 other models below it. And they might be great smartphones for getting email and stuff like that, but if you really want to have the full functionality, it might not be the option just yet. Now, iPhone, if you need something with apps, if you want to play a lot of the games, then iPhone is the king of the hill right now. That could change in the next year. My recommendation is really all 3 of them have a lot of great features to it. I'm sticking with the iPhone personally, but the HTC Droid is very, very enticing to me. Geek, 15% off! Geek, 15% off! Mozy Home Unlimited, back up your computer, especially if during the holidays you get yourself a brand new computer. If you get yourself a brand new computer, you hook up to the Mozy software, and then you download your pictures, you download your documents, and you get back on track. And of course, this is a great way to back up your files to make sure that you're protected and you're safe and your photos and your life is still there. If there's a fire, if there's a theft, if there's any damage to your computer. I just had a friend, his computer died this morning, called me up and he goes, wait a minute, what's going on? I can't get to my pictures, I can't get to my documents. Luckily, his hard drive's probably safe, but you never know. Backup now, backup often, backup off-site, and that's what Mozy.com is. $4.95 for Mozy Home Unlimited protects one machine from all the documents, all the pictures. Using that code GEEK until the end of the year will get you 15% off, so use it now and save yourself a lot. Send backup now with Mozy.com. All right, continuing on, what type of gaming system do you want to get? Well, the real question that you got to ask yourself is, do you want to get something for your kids, or do you want to get something for the family? Let's point out a couple things here. First of all, for the kids, the Nintendo DS XL, they expanded it, bigger screen, more functionality, cooler games. You can get Mario, lots of Mario. If you love Mario, there's Mario right there. Price is really good. So you'd have a good gaming system for an individual, most likely the kids, the grandkids, or whatever, so they can play and they can be in their own area. They won't have to take up a TV. They don't have to take up a whole space. They can be sitting on the couch. They can be sitting on the bed. They can be sitting wherever, and they could be playing this game. So this is perfect for an individual, mostly children. Although adults will get a lot of enjoyment out of the DS, but it's an individual thing. If you want something for the family, of course, Xbox 360, the big thing is the Kinect. To be able to not have the controller and still control the game. Kinect, $159. Of course, you still have to buy the Xbox, which is $200 to $300, depending on which model you get. But it is a great addition to your Xbox 360 if you already have it. And then you can have family time. And before it was usually playing Chutes and Ladders and Monopoly and stuff like that. Now it's playing Kinect. The real choice is, are you going to get something for the kids, or are you going to get something for the family? And you also got to remember, Xbox 360, just like the Wii, just like the PS3, have the ability to connect up to things like Netflix. So you'll have a little bit more functionality using these devices. You can also use it as a browser. You can also use it in different ways. So it's more than just a gaming system for you. It's something for the whole family. Alright, the biggest confusion out there is what TV to get. Now, these doorbuster deals, if you're looking at the flyer, you'll notice that you'll be able to get these pretty cheap TVs, 26, 32, 40 inches, for very low prices, $200 to $400. And they may be great buys. Or you think they might be great buys, but the reality is they might not be. First of all, let's get the one thing out of the way. You might see a thing that says LCD versus LED. What is that? LED, it's just basically how the TV gets lit so you can actually see. LED TV is simply that, LED lights in the back as opposed to regular lights in an LCD model. And it lights up the screen. It's supposed to be a little bit brighter so you have a little bit crisper image. So that might be a good addition. You might want to check to see if you're getting an LCD TV or an LED TV. And you can get an LED TV, a 26 to 32 inch, for $300. And that's a pretty good deal. But once again, when you're looking at these lower end models, your Westinghouse, your AOL, your Emerson, your stuff like this, you might want to check all the features. Make sure it has at least two HDMI ports. Make sure you'll be able to hook up other devices to it through an RCA cable. Make sure you can hook it into your stereo system. Make sure that you can actually hook a computer into it, or at least one computer port. If you have all those options, then maybe the TV is a good deal to buy. Also make sure that you have a decent warranty. A lot of these TVs will at least have 1 year manufacturer's warranty to it, and that's the key right there. When I bought my flat panel TV, I actually had a place to put a screw in the base, so you could actually screw it to your entertainment center so it doesn't fall over, because these things are light. I lifted my 32-inch flat panel TV with one hand, and that's how light these things are, and that's an LED TV. So the cool thing is everything is getting lighter, everything is getting brighter, everything is getting better, but you also have to watch and listen to what your TV is going to do, because that's the key. And buying a cheap TV doesn't always mean the best thing. Now the other thing is these application TVs. You can now get it with Vudu. You can now get it Google TV. The new Sony comes with Google TV. Are these the best buys for you? Well, right now, what's called over-the-top TV, that's your Rokus, that's your Boxies, that's your Google TVs, that's your Apple TVs. All of these TV systems are in their infancy right now. And in the next 2 to 3 years, all of that is going to change around, so it's going to be more user-friendly. Right now, over-the-top TV is not user-friendly. You go to an application, you have to find your shows. You find the shows, you watch the shows, and then you got to go hunt and find some more. Until user-friendly ability, I guess that's a word, user-friendly ability comes into play, then these application TVs will really start to shine. Right now, it's kind of in a faddish mode. It'll eventually become what TV is and TV controls in the future. But right now, I wouldn't be too concerned about getting a Google TV. I wouldn't be concerned about getting applications inside of a TV, because in the next 2 years, that's all going to change. You might as well just get the application box like a Roku, like an Apple TV, like a Google TV. And of course, I do recommend the Roku because of the fact you can hook it up to your 40-inch TV through the HDMI port, or you can hook it up to the old CRT TV in the basement if you really need to see something. $100, you get wireless N action. It just seems to be the best buy. And that's the special edition of the 5 Tech Things that you should know about. My name is Jeffrey Powers. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for listening. Go out there and get the best deal possible, because we all want to have a great holiday with some great gifts. And remember, sometimes building gifts with your hands is more special than going out and buying that 40-inch LED TV, excuse me. But then again, it's not an LED TV. Check everything out over at www.geekazine.com. I'm going to go upstairs and cook a bird. And you guys have some great doorbuster deals. We'll see you next week with regular tech on the 5 Tech Things you should know about. Take care.